One of the things that other countries, other leaders have done is address their nation, stand up behind a podium and deliver a message to the people of their country about the economic state of the country. If you were given that chance to stand behind the podium to address the people of the country, in this role or in the role of Prime Minister of Canada, what would you say to Canadians tonight?
I would say what I have said as leader of the opposition and as a Canadian who want to become the Prime Minister of this country to help the people in tough difficulty. I would have said exactly what I have said. I have a plan, and this plan will make sure that your government will be there to help. I will not pretend that everything is okay and you may, it's a good time to buy and this kind of thing that Mr. Harper said, in showing that he's insensitive and disconnect with the reality, out of touch with the reality where Canadians are. But in addition to it, I will say in the next 30 days, I will implement this plan. In the next 30 days, I will come with the policies that we need. We'll come with a fiscal, economic and fiscal update, which is a kind of mini budget.
Can we wait 30 days though, Mr. Dion?
Well, I will not wait 30 days. We'll have action during these 30 days. It's a plan to be implemented during the first 30 days of a Liberal government.
Today, Mr. Harper gave you a promotion of a sort when he said, if you elect Prime Minister Dion, who will impose and raise carbon taxes and run deficits, interest rates will go up. Why would you suspect that interest rates wouldn't go up if, in fact, we had that sort of tampering?
This man is lying to Canadians since the beginning about this plan, the Liberal plan. I said that face-to-face to him during the debate, because it's not true. You have 250 economists who wrote a letter a couple of days ago saying that they were endorsing the principle of a green shift. That means what? Cut taxes of what is creating growth in Canada. Cut the taxes on what is creating the strong economy. That means your income, your savings, your investments, and your pensions, and also your profits if you are in business. And instead of that, put a price on pollution. These economists, they know what they are talking about. In fact, the countries that have done their green shift already are resisting better than the ones that didn't. They are outperforming the economy of the countries that didn't do their green shift. I want Canada to succeed. A green shift is a way to have a stronger economy. It's good for your wallet and it's good for the planet. And I invite Steve, everybody, to see the lie of Mr. Harper. You just have to go to the greenshift.ca. There is a calculator, and it will give you the amount of tax cuts you will enjoy the fourth year of the Liberal plan if we have a Liberal government. For a family earning $60,000 with 2 kids, it's a tax cut of $1,300. Mr. Harper doesn't want you to know that.
Monsieur Dion, using the formula, the Premier of Nova Scotia says that the people of Nova Scotia will net lose $130 million a year.
Nobody have any clue about how he comes with this number.
Well, he says he's using 2005 emission numbers and your formula.
Yeah, except that we don't tax wellhead. We tax at the wholesale level. So his calculation is not appropriate. I'm sure Mr. Bryson will explain that.
There's no loss.
But what I want to say to Nova Scotians, I love my country. If I propose this strategy for Canada, it's because I know that it will be good for all Canadians and all provinces. It worked in other countries. Sweden have done that years ago, and their economy is growing faster than ours. Norway has a carbon tax much bigger than the one we are proposing, and they have a strong economy. Switzerland did it. A lot of countries. UK. In UK, Mr. David Cameron, who is the Conservative leader who wants to become Prime Minister, is campaigning and saying, I want more green taxes, as long as they are replacement taxes. That means tax cuts for UK families. It sounds familiar, no? It's not a right-wing or a left-wing policy. It's the right thing to do, that to have a fiscal framework that is adapted to the challenges of the 21st century. I want Canada to succeed in the 21st century. For that, we need to cut taxes on what we like and to put a price on pollution. And what we like, it's our income.
A couple of quick things before we go, and I know you must leave. You have been very strident in saying there will be no deficit under a Liberal government in this country. How can you be sure, given the uncertain economic situation in the world, that there will not be a need to run a deficit, even temporarily?
We will not cause a deficit. I was at the cabinet table when we had to put our fiscal house in order with Mr. Martin, Mr. Chrétien. It has been a very painful exercise. We learned that it's very important to not try to solve your problems of today with the money of your children and grandchildren. So we'll not cause a deficit.
under any circumstances.
Will not cause a deficit.
We learned today from an officer of parliament that the war in Afghanistan will cost something on the order of $18.1 billion to prosecute by 2011. We also know the tremendous cost in the lives of Canadians. With the full benefit of hindsight, Monsieur Dion, what should we have done about Afghanistan in the beginning?
Oh, many things. How long do we have? I want first to pay tribute to our brave men and women in uniform and our civilians who are risking their life for the people of Afghanistan. What we need to do is to have a prime minister that will be trustworthy, reliable. Mr. Harper said something and it's contrary. He said we'll stay as long as the job is not done, whatever that means. And he said we'll leave in 2009. So Mr. Ignatieff and I, we went in Afghanistan at the beginning of this year, and we realized that our allies and the government of Afghanistan were believing the other story. That means we'll stay as long as the job is not done. Mm-hmm. They did not believe at all about the end date of 2009. And nothing was ready for us to leave. And you cannot leave Afghanistan like you leave a camping, because you have lives, human beings' lives, under your responsibility. So we decided to extend the missions to a year more with a clear end date 2011. And this time, if I am the Prime Minister, the first thing I will do, I will say to our allies, this end date of 2011 is a serious one. We'll do our best to help the people of Afghanistan in the meanwhile. But after that, Canada will accept other missions elsewhere in the world. And this will be clear. It will be the end of the hypocrisy of Stephen Harper, who said something and it's contrary.
Finally, though, was it a mistake to begin this mission with the benefit of hindsight?
No, what has been a mistake, though, is we were supposed to end the Kandahar mission in 2007. Mr. Harper decided to extend this by 2 years until 2009 without negotiating anything. It's only this year, 2008, with the report of John Manley, that Mr. Harper admitted that we were lacking the tools that we need. There were not enough troops, there were not enough weapons. Why did not negotiate that in 2007 before asking for an extension, deciding for an extension? He should have said to NATO, I'm ready to stay 2 years more, only if you give me more troops and more weapons. He did not do so, and for that, he failed as a Prime Minister. He failed our troops, he failed Canadians, he failed Afghanistan. He wanted to be macho, to go alone without negotiating anything. It was a mistake. I will not do that. I will be realistic, I will be trustworthy. Our allies will know what I commit. When I commit, is after a strong negotiation with our allies to know what will be their own contribution, to be sure that Canadians will have a fair burden on their shoulders when we accept a dangerous mission.
So the mistake was staying, not going.
The mission was to stay without to have negotiated at the outset the help of our allies to be sure that our troops will work in acceptable conditions.
Monsieur Dion, thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. And happy Thanksgiving to all Canadians. And your students will be back. Students will be back in their families, so discuss politics with them. Tuesday is an important choice.
The leader of the Liberals, Stéphane Dion. For the record, the interviews you see on this broadcast are usually live, and those which are recorded are not edited for content. We believe you have the right to see the entire exchange, the questions and the answers. We don't want to be accused of hiding anything, and that is why we opted to show you tonight's entire exchange. And this interview today fulfilled our invitation to have the leaders appear twice on this broadcast. Monsieur Dion is the only leader to take us up on that. The Prime